Hello. For this problem, we're trying to find tangent theta when secant squared theta is equal to 5. Well, we know secant squared theta equals 1 over cosine squared theta, which is equal to 5, right? So cosine squared theta equals 1 over 5, meaning cosine theta equals the square root of 1 over 5, which is also equal to 1 over the square root of 5, right? From here, we have SOHCAHTOA. Sine is the opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent, right? So cosine theta being adjacent over hypotenuse equals 1 over the square root of 5, right? And when we draw this out, we know we're in quadrant 1, right? And we have this point where the hypotenuse is 5, our angle is theta, our adjacent is 1, and we're trying to find the opposite, which we'll label y, right? Trying to figure out what that is. But since this is a right triangle, we have 1 squared plus y squared equals the square root of 5 squared. Or 1 plus y squared equals 5. Y squared equals 4. Y equals the plus or minus the square root of 4, which is equal to plus or minus 2. We know we're in quadrant 1. This has to be positive, so that's 2. Tan theta, which is equal to opposite over adjacent, is opposite 2 over adjacent 1. 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. Now, if we look at a different problem, right? Say we're looking at quadrant 2, for instance, right? In quadrant 2, secant squared theta is going to equal minus 5, right, in quadrant 2, right? Which means cosine theta is going to equal minus 1 over the square root of 5. How do we know that, right? Well, we know from here, right, this is minus 1. The hypotenuse is always positive at the square root of 5. And here we're going to find the same y value, right? 1 minus 1 squared plus y squared equals the square root of 5 squared, or 1 plus y squared equals 4. And by the same mechanism, y equals plus or minus 2. Well, we know it's above the x-axis, so this is going to equal 2, right? But tangent theta, meaning opposite over adjacent, is now equal to 2 over minus 1, or minus 2 in this case, right? In quadrant 3, we have a different situation. In quadrant 3, we have this angle. We still have minus 1, right? We still have a positive hypotenuse, which is always positive. But we have minus 1, right? Secant squared theta is once again equal to 5, right? Minus 1 squared plus y squared equals square root of 5 squared, giving us 1 plus y squared equals 5, or y squared equals 4, y equals plus or minus the square root of 4, which is equal to plus or minus 2, right? It's in the third quadrant. We know this value is minus 2. Tangent theta here is opposite over adjacent, which is equal to minus 2 over minus 1, which is equal to 2. And what I want you to do for the last one, secant squared theta in quadrant 4 is once again going to equal minus 5. Now figure out, using the steps we used above, what is tangent theta? And you should get the answer minus 2. Now, I went through all these 4 examples just so you can do a little bit more than the problem. But for the original problem itself, tangent theta is equal to 2. We can extend that to quadrant 2, right? Theta is here. For quadrant 3, theta is this. For quadrant 4, theta is all the way around to here. Right. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Wyzant. Hopefully this helps, and hopefully this is a little bit more than the question asked for. Thank you.